And it's Wednesday.
Then it's
No.
Wednesday. See how that works? It is Tuesday night. This is our weekly Tuesday night live show. Tonight I have Sam with me. Sam, how are you doing this
I'm
evening?
doing great, Lisa. How are you?
I am good. I had a week off last week. I had some crazy stuff going on in my world, so I took the week off.
Understood. I was walking around with a laptop in my hand at the new Destino Tower. It was interesting, but I'm a little more relaxed tonight, which is good.
You were legitimately walking around with the laptop in your hand.
I was, because I could not get my camera upgraded to the appropriate, or my phone upgraded to the appropriate level, because I didn't have enough space, because I had spent the day taking pictures. So it's kind of full circle there. So.
Right.
But we made it happen. I had the same headset on. I was walking around with a laptop and checking things out. We got to all 3 of the new dining locations, which was kind of cool. And just in general, Coronado Springs is completely different than it used to be. It's really cool.
Nice. I am trying to see where we are live because I don't see us on Facebook at all. Which is fun, but not at all. Hold on one second, Morgan. Aha, API connection has disconnected. Log on with Facebook. Continue as Lisa. Okay.
What does that mean exactly?
Restream didn't disconnected.
Oh, okay.
So now it's sending data. Whoop whoop. As soon as I get this data up and running, we are on YouTube though. That is exciting.
Well, that's cool. That's really cool.
And it appears as though we should be live again.
We're back.
We're back. We are back. I am just waiting for the notification. We are officially live. Sorry,
Sweet.
folks. We had a little bit of a hiccup there. That was fun, exciting. I learned something new on the fly. See how those things work. And now, without further ado, let me bring on Morgan as I share the show. Morgan, you're back.
I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So, Morgan, thank you so much for joining. Sam, thank you so much for joining while I share. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Absolutely. And if you're learning every week, Lisa, that means the show gets better every week. That's kind of cool.
That's what I'm thinking. You know, the more Lisa and Jimmy and all of us learn, the better these shows are going to be.
Yeah, I got to tell you what, Morgan, the blog is blowing up with stuff out there and information and things that are new, and wow.
Well, I have to say, you're the one that's helping blow it up by all that amazing coverage at Coronado Springs this past week.
That's one piece of it, and it turned into a lot of blogs. Absolutely right. It was fun. It was fun.
Just when I think you've covered it all, you got another post up. I'm like, there's more for me to read.
There's more. There were 10 different interviews that I did, which is sort of amazing.
And you did it all by yourself?
I did it all by myself with tripods, all that stuff. It was cool. It was cool. Although I am looking here, the free dining starts tomorrow. Is that true?
No, free dining starts today.
So yes. This is what's going on.
So, okay, if you guys are not aware, which we need to up your Disney nerd game, around the fall every year, Disney offers their free dining package. So basically, you can still book your room, book your tickets, and instead of having to fork out extra money for the dining plan, they're going to throw it in for free for you. But there are select dates, there are select resorts. So with this package being such a big deal, I highly recommend get your travel planner involved, like Jimmy with Once Upon a Time Travel.
Absolutely. They go quickly.
Yes.
It's limited dates, it's limited availability, and I know anybody that has a trip planned right now should go back and see if they can get it, or call your travel agent, right? Get in touch with Jimmy.
Yes. Now I can tell you, I actually do work for Jimmy, and I can tell you right now, the phone lines for Disney have been slammed all day.
Yeah, we're talking free dining there, Lisa.
Yeah. you're booking either a new package or people that have already booked are trying to switch their package to the free dining. So,
It's that time of year.
but it's a great time to do it because I mean, if you've ever done the dining package, if you do it right, it saves you so much money. So in addition to having it for free, it's like if you can do it, grab it while you can.
Guys, I'm just still working on some technical issues, nothing major. So
No, well, I think we're out there, so that's good.
we
Yeah.
are out there. I am just looking to make sure because I cannot see comments. So we can see you out there, but I'm still working on.
All right, I thought that was just me because I was.
Nope.
I've got Facebook up on my phone, so we are definitely live on Facebook. I'm getting a lot of hellos. Hello from Anthony,
Oh, hello,
Chris,
guys.
Victoria, Jessica, Brad, Bradley, and Bradley. We got 2 different Bradleys. Michelle, Bill, Kathy, and Audie, Brandon, Jimmy saying hi.
Jimmy, Audie, ice cream. That's all I can think.
And Jimmy did add on to the free dining plan. It is very limited this year. So that's another reason that if anybody is planning on doing the Disney Live or the video, the planning, contact your vacation planner. Highly recommend contacting Once Upon a Time Travel, which is Jimmy. So let us help you get the best deal you can with this free dining.
Free dining is a good thing. That's why it goes so quick. And I think they limit it. It gets a little more limited every year too in the dates and times and locations.
Right. And
Lisa's gone again.
No, I got to reload. Give me a second. I'm going to reload because naturally it started a third stream for me.
Oh, three times the fun. Double the Mushu, double the fun.
Yeah,
echo.
3 times the fun. So I got to reshare, which just makes all of those group owners really happy.
They're probably like, "What's going on, man?"
Right.
What the heck?
So I'm gonna reshare it yet again. Please reshare if you joined us here, there, and everywhere. And there is a known issue right now with the chat, so that's what we're working on right now.
Oh, got it.
So,
And that stinks
for-
because I'm looking to chat.
Well, I think we can chat. We just got to use our phones and the technology. So if Morgan, you want to keep on rattling those off.
Yep, I will.
As soon as we see them.
Right.
Yep.
Jimmy must be on a whole. I really want to say that Jimmy is helping clients right now get things booked because that's how busy it is.
I'm certain he's a busy guy.
Yeah. There's lots going on for certain when it comes to free dining. And that's, did they announce that today, yesterday? When did they announce that?
That they announced it this morning. So I tried to get a post up as quickly as I could so we can announce it. So that way, if you have a fall trip, you can get in touch with your Disney planner. If you haven't booked that fall trip, you can get in touch with the Disney planner. Because like I said, I mean, I know as a vacation planner, like I said, I do work for Jimmy. Vacation planners have been on the phones all day long. The lines are packed. So I highly recommend save yourself the aggravation. Let us deal with the aggravation. Especially Jimmy. Come on, let's leave Jimmy on the phone all day long trying to fix your vacations.
You just had oral surgery today. That's not even funny or fair.
Oh, ouch.
Okay. I didn't know that was why. Okay.
So a couple of things. We are back. So Joseph said I called 3 different times today, 2-hour waits. Each time they told me that the system wasn't working and no one could get the offer. You know what? I always tell people, I've done free dining several. I always tell people, you're going to call the first day and nothing's going to be available.
Yeah.
Because everything gets locked into those 3-day waiting periods. And you can talk a little bit more about that, Morgan. You know, if you go to reserve something, you reserve it, it puts it on like a 2 or 3 day hold.
Yep.
And then in a couple of days, all those reservations that are on those couple day holds, once they don't get their deposits, they're going to fall back off and be available.
They go into inventory. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. That's kind of cool.
So it kind of think of it like when your first day to book a dining reservation is. Everybody goes online. They book all these crazy dining reservations because they can get them. And the closer it gets to their vacation, they might relook at their vacation, be like, you know what? I don't need to go to Be Our Guest. I don't need to go to this. I don't need to go to that. And they drop them. So a lot of people can snag them and pick them up and be able to take advantage of them. So kind of think of it like that. I mean, like I said, I've actually for numerous times, I'm talking to a client, I'm quoting them, and I'll say, hey, it's a 3-hour hold because the price may change. And this isn't free dining. This is just in general.
Right.
I'll hold it for 3 days. Let them think about it, because no matter when you're booking a Disney vacation, it's a big deal, especially when it's a big family. Yeah. So you got to think about that's what a lot of people are doing. Now, I mean, one thing that I would say, Joseph, if you have not booked your trip yet, get in touch with Jimmy at Once Upon a Time Travel. It is onceupontravel@yahoo.com, or even message us here on Facebook, and let us try to take care of that for you. I'm sure being on hold for 2 hours and then hearing the system's not working was not fun for you. So let us take care of that for you. And it doesn't cost you anything extra for us to help you out.
So. See, Joe said he didn't call because he's not a fan of free dining. You got to do the math. You got to figure out what works best for you. It works great for some people, and as an annual pass holder, it doesn't work out as well for me because you tend to have to get the room with the tickets to get the dining. So you just have to do the math.
Plus, correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, but you have Tables in Wonderland.
I do have Tables in Wonderland, so I'll use that because I'm an annual pass holder and free dining doesn't work out. But if I wasn't an annual pass holder and maybe did Disney every couple of years, then I'm definitely looking forward to free dining.
Right.
Definitely.
I mean, both you and Lisa both have families, so you're not just feeding yourselves, you're feeding other people. That adds up, because I'm sure, even the pickiest kid that just wants chicken nuggets or PB&J, it's still not cheap at Disney. So, I mean, I have Tables in Wonderland too, but for the same reason as Sam, I'm a pass holder, so it makes sense for me.
Yeah. Because that's with free dining, you need to purchase the package, which is the room, the park ticket, and all, which could make sense for some. I get it.
And also, if you don't have the flexibility, it's not the entire month of September, it's not the entire month of November, it's select nights, it's select dates, it's select resorts. So you might not have the vacation time when you can get this free dining. So that's another thing you have to take into account. Right. Obviously, if you have the flexibility and you can grab it, by all means, grab it.
Yep. And that, I think it's pretty clear that it tends to be the points in time when they're not really booked and they're looking to sell the rooms. So maybe it's a little less crowded.
Right. And I even looked, because of course we've all got a big trip planned for November for the Disney meetup.
That's right.
And it's actually after we're going to be there. So I think, there's just so many Disney nerds coming for the meetup that they didn't need to do the free dining that weekend. I mean, or maybe that's just me.
That's what happened. That's
exactly what happened. That's what happened. There's so many people that are watching us here live right now that are saying, you know what? We don't need free dining because we're coming during the meetup and we're getting the awesome group rate.
That's exactly right.
Yes. Question from Bill, as a non-AP holder, what is Tables in Wonderland?
That's a great question. Tables in Wonderland is a program. Essentially, it's a card that I have one right here somewhere that gives you discounts for Disney sit-down dining locations. That's one of the many benefits. You get 20% off after you purchase it. I believe the Tables in Wonderland is $200 for 18 months, and as an annual pass holder, it's actually $150. There's a discount involved there.
And that also includes DVC and Florida residents, if I'm not mistaken, for that discounted rate.
For discounts. So basically, you got to look at it this way. They take 20% off, but they add the 18% gratuity right on. So you do save, but you're paying a little less than the menu price. Some other interesting things is it includes free valet parking. So you can go to the boardwalk and get free valet parking as long as you eat at one of those establishments, come back to the valet with a receipt. Same works at the Grand Floridian, same works at some other locations as well.
Any of the resorts in Even Springs, because I think I've mentioned this before, when I travel with my mom, I have Tables in Wonderland. So when I travel with my mom, She has some mobility issues, so valet is perfect because it's included. Now you have to pay attention, especially at Disney Springs, because it might say at this restaurant only lunch you get the free valet, or you get that 20% off of Tables in Wonderland. And one thing that they've added, if I'm not mistaken, in the last couple of years is alcohol's included. They did not used to.
That is correct. You get 20% off alcohol.
I mean, that alone, guys, come on.
Yeah, I tend to, even at Epcot sit-down restaurants, I will get a drink to go from the sit-down because I know that I'm going to get the 20% off.
So then that piece of it that you want to take into account, and I don't know whether or not we touched on this because again, we're dealing with some technological issues tonight. I cannot see comments. It is a known issue. It is beyond our control. I appreciate your patience and staying with us as we fight through some of this stuff.
Bye, Jimmy.
Live and on the air. But I will say two things. One is that Tables in Wonderland is for sit-down restaurants and value food courts. So you can use it at a value food court, All-Star, Pop, Century. So you can
Wonderful.
use it there.
And that's
It's one of those things, always ask.
And then the other one is that people don't take into account is any restaurant that has a lounge attached to it, right?
The lounges, that's correct. Yes.
Yep.
So the tuning lounge or Tiffin's, what's next to Tiffin's? I'm blanking on it.
Yeah. Well,
We'll make this easy. Tablesinwonderland.com is the URL, which will take you right to it, and it lists all the benefits. And it's 175 or 150. I misspoke there. I apologize. There's also some very interesting special events that you can book. Culinary adventures with chefs from Disney, and you have to be a Tables of Wonderland member to book those.
Yep.
So it's
and Jessica asked, Jimmy already answered it, but I just want to bring it up. For DVC members, is at 20% off with their DVC resort discount, so it's 30 total. No, unfortunately, it's not stackable.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
one
use
or the other.
or the other. Just like most of us are probably Tables in Wonderland, plus they've got the Disney Visa, plus we've got pass holder, plus we've got we probably, all of us that are here have 2 or more of those. And
Yes.
as much as we'd like to combine all those discounts, unfortunately, Disney does not play that game. But one actually really cool thing with Tables in Wonderland I wanted to bring up is a couple years ago, my friend wanted to do the afternoon tea at the Grand Floridian. So I've done it before, love it, great experience. So what we did is we did valet, did the afternoon tea, which is not at that time, and as far as I'm aware, still not included in Tables in Wonderland. Went upstairs to the lounge, had a couple drinks, which is included in Tables in Wonderland, and got free valet.
Yeah, that is that piece, that free valet piece, but you got to make sure that you have that receipt.
Yes.
A couple of things.
We're getting really loud in the background there, Lisa.
David wants to ask who to contact to purchase. That you want to do the tablesinwonderland.com. I believe you can call to order one.
So what I have found best, and I'll throw a little advice in, I always get it at guest relations because it's 18 months from when you pick it up. If you buy it ahead of time, it starts the day you buy it. So it will start before your trip.
One kind of interesting factor that I learned that may make you think twice about that.
Okay.
If you buy it online, it's a laminated card.
Yeah.
Whereas if you get it at the ticket booth, it's a paper card.
It's a piece of paper that reminds you of the old fast passes, the old tickets that they used to have, and I can't believe it's like the only thing that's not yet on a Magic Band. Come on, put it on my Magic Band.
Right. That would be perfect. And I feel like over the course of 18 months, like they kind of grumble a little bit when you go over to, like, if you're at Pop Century and you go over to the food court and you hand them the
swipe it.
Yeah, they've got to swipe it, and they're like
and they never work.
That's what they say. They never work. I've never had mine not work. Mine has always worked. And every time they swipe it, they go, "Oh, this must be new."
I've had the same thing.
I said to them in June, actually, this expires in like 20 days. I've had it for well over a year.
Yeah. It might be 13. It's either way, that's it's cool.
And actually, my friend who I did the tea with is on. So hi, Danielle.
I definitely.
Hey, tell me about the tea, Morgan. What exactly is that?
Okay, so at the Grand Floridian, they have, it's called the afternoon tea. It's a little bit different than I think there's another one called the Princess Tea, which I think is geared more towards kids. I would say it's just kind of like what you would think a very classy English tea would be. So you go and you have a menu of all these different kinds of teas, different flavors, and things like that. And then you kind of get little hors d'oeuvres, little sandwiches.
Cool.
There's 3 courses. One is like the little sandwiches. One is like scones and biscuits. My favorite thing is at the end, besides the tea. If you are a tea drinker, a tea person, you should try this at least once.
Okay.
Tea service. They have an option for your dessert between strawberries and cream and a chocolate dessert. I always get strawberries and cream because with some kind of red food, they do the Grand Floridian logo on the cream. So it's just kind of that cool, what Disney's good at.
Yeah.
That kind of little picture perfect ending to this meal. I always think it would be an amazing thing to do, a dad and his daughter. So Sam,
it sounds like it
would be perfect because
is this a dress up for? Is this is different than they also have an event over there with little girls, right?
You look really cute in a skirt. Dress right up for it.
Yeah. Okay, maybe a kilt. We'll man up the skirt a little bit.
Okay.
A kilt. No, you don't have to dress up. You can still.
I wasn't sure.
Shorts. I think it's really up to you. Now, one thing I always think is a good idea: don't do a large party. So 10 of you going, it's going to be a little too. This is a very relaxing.
Okay.
Take your time, enjoy the tea, enjoy your company. Enjoy being in the Grand Floridian because you are actually almost in the lobby. When you walk into the lobby at the Grand Floridian, all the way in the back, there is where you sit for tea. So through this big window, you've got the back of the Grand Floridian. On the other side of you, you've got this beautiful lobby. So just enjoy your time. And Danielle's actually reminded me, because my friend Danielle, who I did the tea with, she has a gluten allergy. And they did an amazing job of taking care of her and her gluten allergy. She got pretty much everything that I got, just gluten-free to take care of her allergy.
They definitely do a really good job. Sam, you've loaded something up here that I think is pretty timely information.
So this was on the blog, actually. We got this from Disney this week. They released it to media outlets. This is footage from the Skyliner, and this is pretty darn cool.
Drone footage, right?
This is drone footage. I paused it because I wanted to talk about it for a second. This is the line that connects Hollywood Studios straight ahead to Caribbean Beach behind it. What's kind of cool is that's the Grand Destino Tower in the distance, just beyond the Tower of Terror. And it kind of shows you where it is in relation to Hollywood Studios. And you can see Expedition Everest in the background right there, just a bit.
Right back there.
Which is really cool. So this is, I'm pretty sure that's drone footage of that area where they cut the pathway between the trees and connected them. So as this turns around, you'll see the Riviera in the distance here in a second. If I pause that real quick, that's the Riviera over at Caribbean Beach and the new plaza there. So this line goes straight from Hollywood Studios into the central location where they park these things. And then from there, you would get off. And if you got on one, it would take you to Pop Century. And if you got on the other one, it would take you over to the Riviera from what is a Caribbean Beach. It's cool stuff.
I think what's kind of cool that you can really see from this video now is you're going to kind of get almost a bird's eye view now of wherever you're headed.
Of everything.
Yes.
I mean, you're going to, that's one thing I kind of like about the monorail when you go from Magic Kingdom to Epcot is, yes, you kind of mainly see the trees in the parking lot, but it's like that bird's eye view almost.
Yeah.
So it kind of expands on that bird's eye view over all these awesome things that some people might not actually see, because you think about it. Some people probably just go from the resort to the parks each and every day.
Yep.
They don't see the other resorts.
That's Galaxy's Edge up there, right, Lisa?
Sure is. Yeah, absolutely looks like it.
Sure is up there. That's Galaxy's Edge.
To the right there. What am I missing that I can't piece together?
On the right here or behind it?
Down
here?
Yeah, the other
That's
down.
Caribbean Beach. Am I right?
where my pointer is now, top right under the Tower of
Yeah,
Terror.
is that the bus stop?
That's the brand new bus stop that they just opened for Hollywood Studios.
Oh.
So that's brand new and opened, and they're building all of the new security checkpoints in the front. That's Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coasters, that inconspicuous go away blue building back there.
Right. That's right.
And that's the Destino Tower in the background.
And Jimmy asked in the chat if anybody is going to take the Skyliner. We've got so far a couple of yeses. Jimmy, of course, said only in the winter.
Okay. I'm curious to see how these are going to feel. The biggest concern everyone has is these things do not have air conditioners in them, so it's awfully warm, ventilated. So we do have the opening day, right? September 29th. Was that it? That's the official opening of these things. So
there's also the we're coming up on the last day for Illuminations.
Yeah, it'd be right there around that same time.
Getting a little misty.
Getting a little misty-eyed, are you?
No, I am actually sorely disappointed. I am not going to be able to see Illuminations one last time. I am very thankful to April and Bobby over at Pixie Purchases for getting me the pass holder pin. So at least I have like one little piece.
That's cool. Yeah.
I'll sleep with it at night. Just make sure the cap's on the thing and just. Yeah.
I did get to Epcot, of course, while I was down there covering the Destino opening. And one of the things I noticed, quite a few of, lots of construction, number one. We know the whole front is completely messed up.
Tore up, right?
It's all tore up.
About that, actually.
So is International Gateway. It's tore up as well. Let's go ahead and take me off there, Lisa, and I'll see if I can find there's some pictures of it. There are quite a few booths from the festivals that are still out. In fact, one of them, right when you go into, you cross the causeway to head towards World Showcase, you need to make the right or the left to go around. There's a huge one of the festival shops that is all Illuminations going away merchandise, just loaded with it.
Yeah, the merchandise that they put out for Illumination, I mean, I think they kind of learned this with Universal Energy and the Great Movie Ride and ending them and putting merch out.
They had T-shirts, but they were really limited, if you remember.
They had T-shirts, they had Turbises, and I think they might have had ornaments or something else. I want to say 2 or 3 things.
Was this Wishes?
I think they did do stuff with Wishes though too. They did they did Wishes and Turbises and all that. I didn't see a Turbis because if they had a Turbis, I would have been like, April, please give me a Turbis, because y'all know my Turbis problem.
Yes, you're gonna need to buy a bigger house.
I actually have one cabinet that is just Turbises, and my mother laughs at me every single time because I just keep buying more as I am now. I'm using my pass holder Turbis right now.
So Jimmy asked a question. Will you have a chance to see Illuminations again? And of course, I brought up Illuminations, which makes Bill very, very sad, and thinks that I hate him because I bring it up. But really, Bill, thinking other terms, I was able to watch Illuminations. Bill's last time watching Illuminations, I watched with him. So look at it that way, Bill. We'll always have that memory.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Illuminations with Lisa. I mean, what's better than that?
There you go.
Not much, I'm telling you.
I mean, you watch it. Sometimes Jimmy just keeps talking over it when you're like, hey man, I'm just picking on Jimmy right now. But okay, now Sam, since you brought up Epcot, we don't want to dwell on Illuminations too much. We don't want to make Bill cry. How does the entrance look now, since we know the memory thing is being dismantled? Like, what was your impression?
All right. And just in time for me to share a screen again, because I have a photo that I just found from there you go.
Those are the building a moat.
That is from the monorail going in. Crazy, huh?
Wow.
Just crazy. So this is last week, the monorail going in. There's how the front looks.
People off that if that is now dirt.
Well, no. So the dirt's all under it.
Okay.
The dirt's all under it. You can still get on the monorail and go around the front side. This is kind of under it. This is where the
But that's the parking lot. Like that
is the parking lot. So what I believe is happening, this curve is going to be the new drop-off location for the trams from the parking lot, because right now they're moved considerably away.
I was going to ask where. So where are the trams dropping the people that live there?
Much further back.
Way further back.
Way further back, yes, absolutely, much further back. You can see that on the right-hand side, all of the 20th, the Leva legacies have been removed.
Hey,
the ones on the left are still
over
there,
there.
but it's interesting.
Instincts is gone.
I think Angela's is on the left-hand side.
Mine's on the left-hand side. My family and I are still there.
Now, I know the bricks that they were getting rid of at Magic Kingdom, they let you actually have kind of like a memento one. Are they doing that for people that have Leva Legacy?
So the way I understand it, and the way that the press release read, this is moving to a location outside the park. So they're not getting rid of it; they're relocating them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the next picture you just had up is probably going to be my all-time favorite building at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, that is. This not long ago was red.
Club Cool.
Club Cool.
Go away green, go away light green, go away blue.
Yeah, sky blue, or I forget what exactly they call that.
It's
color.
your own personal linear forest right in front of you.
Yes, absolutely. And hold on one second. Sorry. There's the front of Ellen's.
Now, Brandon asked, "Will this fix the double security checks at Epcot, at TTC and at Epcot? Do we know that yet?"
That's a great question, and I actually asked one of the security guards about exactly that, because I did the good old went to Magic Kingdom, went through security, then got on the monorail, went to TTC, and then came to Epcot and had to go through security again.
Yeah.
What they told me was, when this is finished, you will not go through security a second time. You'll go on it once. So if you're staying at the Grand Floridian, for example, or the Contemporary, you'll go through security, get on the monorail, and you are inside Magic Kingdom and Epcot when that happens, once this is all finished.
I am fascinated that they can't get it to do that. I'm fascinated they can't get that right for the amount of money that people pay to stay at those hotels on the monorail.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you guys about this in January. I was staying at the Contemporary. That was during the Festival of the Arts. There was a photography seminar I was really looking forward to. I missed it because I spent half an hour at the Epcot security when I had already been through the Contemporary security.
Yeah,
so
would have been fun.
Very, very mad about that.
There's a lot of construction right there behind Club Cool. That's behind the building, and I'm not sure what's happening over there, but there's a lot going on where the Butterfly Garden would be for Flower and Garden Festival. Lots happening.
I kind of hope they're not getting rid of the Butterfly Garden, because that's actually a nice feature that I like.
It is, unless they're doing something a little more permanent. But then remember, we know that this whole building is going to be going away, and they're going to be relocating Club Cool and relocating the character spots and all that stuff. So it's a shell game about to start at Epcot. That's for sure.
All I know is my Beverly Challenge stands regardless if they move the Club Cool location.
Listen to me, Morgan. Stop bringing it up. You can keep it. You can keep it. I'm not giving it back. I'm not taking it away. I'm not
the championship that is
have and to hold.
No, nobody's taking it away. I think September will be 2 years.
This is the walkway between. That's Illumination, or sorry, not Illuminations. That is Imagination on the right. And that's the pathway. This is one of the festival booths, and you can see they're doing some major stuff back in there. So that's where one of the food and wine booths would have been.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly where that
where
is.
the playgrounds had been typically, right over in this direction.
They usually do like the cheese studio and the chocolate one.
I think that is the chocolate booth right there. Now that you mention it, Morgan. I think that is the chocolate booth.
And that was closed down when we were there last time, when I was there in June. So, yes.
I'm not sure exactly what's going on. That's after you get off the monorail. So that's getting off the monorail and walking back.
That would be looking towards the buses and everything.
Looking towards the buses, exactly. That's the bus right back here.
Okay.
So Michelle just said we were just there, and security at Epcot was a nightmare.
It is.
It was going on like crazy. I agree. It absolutely is.
Yep. Let me see.
And you said International Gateway is a mess too.
International Gateway is the same way.
So basically, right now, unfortunately, it is kind of a nightmare to get into Epcot. But of course, once it's all fixed, everything will be good, and we'll be happy campers again.
Yep.
Any idea where they are moving Club Cool?
No one knows where it will end up. So there's so much going to happen in the front of Epcot. I think it's a shell game that's really going to happen, and I think a lot of that space that we just looked at. If I go back for a second, we know even that Mouse Gear's going to be moving. So a lot of this space up here, I think, is going to be temporary. Whether it's going to be a location where they put some things from Mouse Gear, the Starbucks is going to be moving. So we're in order for a shell game, just like Hollywood Studios, for the next 18 months or so, leading into the 50th for Epcot, with things just moving around.
So now we are going to lose Fountain of Nations, is what I think.
We are going to, yes. It's on the list to be gone. Essentially, everything inside that monorail loop, when it goes around, is going to be redone. And a lot of it is making this whole entrance area more green, making it more inviting, and bringing the festivals to the front of Epcot. So when you come in today for Flower and Garden Festival or Food and Wine, you have to walk way back there before you hit the first booth. They're going to bring that up to the front, which makes sense.
I mean, really, if you think about it, during any of the festivals, the only reason that a festival is going on, if you're looking at the entrance, is that garden area that we're looking at right now. There's nothing at. There's usually something there for arts or Flower and Garden or Food and Wine or holiday. Yep. So it'll be good that you're like, okay, here's all this stuff up front. Let's get our pictures. Let's get all excited. Then we got to walk to World Showcase.
That's right. That is Mouse Gear, by the way. There's some of your festival. No, that's maybe that's not Mouse Gear. That's one of the stores when you the Traveler.
Like Port of Entry or something.
Yeah, Port of Entry, one of those two. But that is all around World Showcase.
Jimmy is saying it's supposed to be a beer garden in the front area.
There's a beer garden in some of the maps we saw. We haven't seen anything specific from Disney that says beer garden, but I would not doubt it at all if that gets pulled towards the front.
And then Bill is asking, is there confirmation of updates to Spaceship Earth?
No confirmation.
Yep.
Nothing confirmed.
And there was, for a while, big rumors about it being closed for 2 years, and we have no confirmation whatsoever that is happening in any way, shape, or form.
They're going to put an indoor skate park in.
I got to learn to skate?
I have a feeling. So I was looking at the calendar, earlier. We're in the middle of July, and D23 Expo is only 6 weeks away. I really think we're going to hear a lot about Epcot and what's going to be happening at D23, and it's going to be an exciting trip and lots of news coming out of there. That parks panel, I can only imagine what we're going to hear about there.
And you're going to be there, right, Sam?
I will be there, yes.
I made a prediction recently on something that I thought was going to be said at D23, and I'd be darned if I can. If somebody had asked whether or not something was going to happen by the 50th, and I didn't think it was going to happen by the 50th, but I thought maybe either at D23 or at the 50th, they were going to announce, a fifth gate.
A fifth gate. I think they did that with Studios. They just turned it into the fifth gate.
to the fifth dimension.
Yeah. Oh, here's another decent one. Hold on, let me show you this one. This is the Transportation and Ticket Center.
Wait, what?
That's the Transportation and Ticket Center. That's the monorail coming in when I was switching from the Magic Kingdom to the Epcot Loop. So they are changing security everywhere. It's basically what that gets down to.
Is it so that's tents? Is that what that is?
I think that's temporary security. That's behind the wall, the construction wall. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but there's lots. I do know. Sorry. I know what's going on here.
Oh, I know what's going on there too. And I have multiple pictures of that, the progress of that. I kind of think that between you and me, Sam, we've got a few different pictures.
We can put a time lapse together, but basically they're widening this walkway that goes up to the castle. So they drain the moats, and you can see where the old wall was. At least I can only assume that's the old wall, and here's the new one. So it will be considerably wider.
Yes.
And we all know that needs it, because how many times you walk in and the castles, there's a stage show going on and you can't quite get there. There's another view of that.
I think it's going to matter some when you're talking about moving around or mobility after the fireworks, going to from left, right, up, and down. That's going to make a difference around there, or moving around while the parade's going on.
Yes.
I kind of wonder about the other side where they have Cinderella's little wishing
you well. Yeah.
A lot of marriage proposals and little romantic events go on there. So I kind of wonder, like, are they going to mess with that side too? Or are they going to do anything with that little area?
Maybe. Jimmy's current poll right now, guys, and I want you guys to answer it. What is your favorite Disney park?
It's a great question.
Okay, Sam. Well, I think I already know your answer, Sam, but what's your favorite park?
Right now everything's changing. Right? Everything changes. So Epcot immediately, yes, Epcot. But, if you ask me this in 6 months after Galaxy's Edge is open and everybody's over there and Epcot's a complete wreck because of construction, I might say Studios. Right? It's one of those things.
It's not going to take you long to say Studios. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not going to take you long to say
and you could be right.
By September 1. By September 1, he's going to say Hollywood Studios.
We'll see, and it could be. I mean, I'm expecting D23. I think we're going to hear more about Studios too. I really do. I think there's going to be some things thrown out there. We know they're adding that Toy Story restaurant, and I think who knows what else. Hopefully, we get a gate for Mickey and Minnie. A date for that. That'd be nice.
Yeah. That's that.
Lisa, what's your favorite park?
Magic Kingdom.
Nothing wrong with MK.
It's in the background.
Yep, I think Magic Kingdom is it. It's always the first, the original, the magic for me. Although, you know what's funny about Magic Kingdom is that I just got back from California, so maybe Disneyland Park might actually.
Well, there's something to be said for that. The original was wonderful.
And I feel like that's actually going to be that. I mean, we've talked about it, that needs to be a future podcast episode where those of you that have been now to Disneyland, Disney World can actually do that side by side comparison.
Yep.
I can't be a part of that. I've only done World.
Got it. It's the original. That's the way I look when I go through it for sure. Any other comments out there?
Actually, we got a concern that Galaxy's Edge is going to ruin Hollywood Studios. It's not the first time I've heard that, which is why I'll say it. I have heard people be a little disgruntled towards something of that high volume coming to Hollywood.
Yeah, did Cars Land ruin California Adventure? Know what I mean? Did Toy Story Land ruin Studios? I don't know. It's some. If you don't like that, go the other way. That sucks all the people up back there. And if you'd rather go ride Rock and Roller Coaster in Tower of Terror, go for it.
And talking about the parks, Ashley said she feels as though Animal Kingdom doesn't get the love it deserves.
I don't think it ever has.
No.
If ever I were to pick a park that I skipped, it was usually, and still is, Animal Kingdom, which is sad because I really do like it when I go there. You know what my disgruntledness about Animal Kingdom is? It's not about what it has to offer. It's that I feel like I have to walk 782 miles in order to get to the Tree of Life.
And if you want to go to the safari, just keep walking.
Right.
I feel
and you'll get there by next Tuesday.
If they put, I remember when Animal Kingdom first opened and that whole front area, you had all these animals to look at, and it seems like the animals aren't there anymore. So I feel like if they put the animals back in the front more and had more for you to look at while you're climbing up that hill to go see the Tree of Life, I think that would help. But I mean, I definitely agree. Like, Animal Kingdom does not get the attention it deserves, even when Pandora opened. Like, yes, it got a lot of attention once Pandora opened. Everybody was flocking there. Pandora still is a beautiful addition.
It's cool.
To Animal Kingdom. But yeah,
it's do for the rest of Animal Kingdom, because really everybody comes in, they cut left again. Once they're done with that, they come out, they cut right again. I think that's it. You could still, go do the safari and go do Expedition Everest and go do the store and not have any major issues. But if once you step into Pandora, it's like, excuse me, pardon me.
Yeah, I think
Rachel says that we need some shade in Toy Story Land, and she's absolutely right.
Yep. And then
the purpose of the sun.
Bill asked if Hollywood Studios is going to get renamed, and I think we learned at the 30th that no, it's not. They did a new logo, so it's staying as is.
Yeah, well, for now, right? So how that rumor started because of the slip up that Iger made in an investor conference call when he said, "Oh yeah, we're going to rename that park," and of course all of us as nerds went nuts, and nothing had happened. Nothing has happened yet. I don't know. No matter what they do at Hollywood Studios, you keep Hollywood Boulevard and you keep that feel of, the movies that always were but never will be. I mean, that's kind of the main street and it will stay. What happens around it clearly is changing completely, and they've completely changed the park.
Yeah.
Does it need a name change? I don't think it does.
No, I don't think it does either.
It's still about Hollywood. It's still about the movies. So I mean, I feel like that theme still fits, even with Galaxy's Edge opening next month. It's still a park about the movies.
That's right.
So once they complete Epcot's overhaul, and we're hoping 2021 for that?
They're saying before the 50th. That's 2021, right? I don't know when. So when's Magic Kingdom? Magic Kingdom opened October 1st, 1971. So that's October 1st. That's the target date for all this to be open. Talk about a busy time. I hope I can be there. We'll see what happens.
Have you ever? When was the last time you recalled?
Hey, there's a cat there, Morgan.
This is Rogue, guys.
Rogue One?
When was the last
No,
time?
Rogue is in X-Men.
Oh, okay.
When was the last time you recall Walt Disney World without construction?
Never. I don't ever remember going there and not seeing a green wall.
When did they start construction on Morgan, where are you? Morgan, can you try? Sorry, I forgot you're on the show. When did they start construction?
You Google for us.
When did they start construction on the new Fantasyland? That was the first major expansion, right? To me, that was the first major.
What do you mean by major? It's the first new land. I mean, you could argue that the Mickey's Birthday Land was the first big expansion.
Birthday Land.
Right then, remember when that first opened, you had to get on the train to go to it because they didn't connect it to the rest of the park.
Oh, yeah.
That's before Toontown.
Yeah. No, I would say, in I've just been watching Wimbledon in the modern era. What?
It's the modern era. The last 50 years is the modern era. I don't know. It's the golden age of
So I mean, I guess I would say is when from the new Fantasyland to now, it's been one major park overhaul after the other.
It has been. Now, I'll go back to my first trip, and I think yours was about the same, 1986-ish.
1986, yeah.
And they were building studios. And every trip that I've ever made since then, something big is under construction or behind walls. Or I can remember, I got pictures of everything, right? Where Mr. Toad's gone this time, and something else is gone the next time. And yeah.
And I was able to Google, even though I'm on camera, I was able to Google. So it looks like February 2011, Mickey's Toontown Fair closed permanently. And then looks like 2011, Snow White, Scary Adventures closed. So things started closing 2011. And it says the expansion for the Magic Kingdom's New Fantasyland opened December 6, 2012.
That's not that long from the time they closed to open.
So hold on.
But you also have to remember that Seven Dwarfs Mine Train wasn't there when they opened New Fantasyland. There was it didn't all open and everything was there. It was gradual.
Yeah,
everybody's seeing Bill's comment. Said Walt Disney World's national bird is the crane.
Have you never heard that before?
No,
I love that, and it's true.
Oh yeah, I've heard that many times because I mean, if you think about it, especially from a picture taking point, how many pictures do you have of with the crane in the shot?
I have more pictures with the crane than I do without.
Exactly.
Yes.
I was like, they've literally been painting Cinderella's castle for about 15 years.
Yeah.
No, so you bring up, so here it is, it's 2011, right? So right now it's 2019, everything will be done 2021. That's 10 straight years of what I would call fairly major world expansion in all 4 parks.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's major expansion or overhaul in all 4 parks.
And it goes back all the way.
What's next?
And but you're right. I mean, go back to 1971. All right, 1971 it opened. Pirates opened in 73. Space Mountain in 75.
I'm not talking
Big
about
Thunder in 80. But you go back that far, it just keeps going and going and going.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to talk about it. I can't talk about a single attraction, but I will talk about areas. And
Sure.
Toontown opening. Like you could talk about Toontown opening, then Toontown closing, then
Yeah.
all these different things. But I will say that what's next, right? There's the speculation.
What's next? Yeah.
But I mean, I'm totally going to butcher the quote, but did Walt Disney not say like that the parks will never be done?
That's basically what he said in a nutshell.
Yeah.
They'll always be changing. Even the trees will grow, and it'll be more beautiful every year. I think that's exactly what he said.
So we just have to. Do you remember? We just got a question. Do you remember Cinderella's animatronic show where they now play Mickey's PhilharMagic, right?
So that was the Mickey Mouse Review.
Cinderella animatronic show where they now play.
I remember Cinderella in that, but Mickey's Review was in there before the Lion King took over in there. The Lion King puppet show.
I don't even remember the Lion King puppet show.
That I remember.
I had a swift gap in my Walt Disney World attendance, or at the very least in my Walt Disney World paying attention. We hit the teenage years, and I didn't really care too much about
I understand.
Yeah, that must have been my teenage years when I thought I was too cool for Magic Kingdom.
We all go through that, I guess.
I mean, I think every teenager at some point is like, I don't want to go to Disney. I'm too cool for it. Or I don't want to go at least to Magic Kingdom because that's, the kiddie park.
Right.
But I'm glad I grew out of that because I love all 4 parks.
I think you do as an adult. As an adult, you absolutely, totally grow out of that.
Yeah.
And I do think there was a stretch of time where it wasn't that I didn't like Magic Kingdom. I think I've always loved Magic Kingdom. I just didn't. I would go straight to Tomorrowland, and then from Tomorrowland go straight to Adventureland and Frontierland, and then I'd leave Frontierland and come back through Adventureland and out the park. I don't think I ever went in.
Yeah, that kid with before fast passes and things like that, that takes you the best part of a day to get all that done.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think I ever needed to go into Fantasyland until, and I've got a picture of this, until we went with my niece, who's now going to be 21.
Wow.
September, when I went with my niece for the first time. And I have pictures of me with my nieces in PhilharMagic.
In Fillmore Magic?
In PhilharMagic, yep.
When did that thing open?
That's
Been a while.
That's the question, right? So,
it's kind of funny because I mean I've said this before. For me, like I don't remember my first trip. I don't remember a time when I didn't go to Disneyland. It's ingrained from ever for me. But I actually have a vivid memory of with my mom on the train riding to because we're celebrating Mickey's birthday, so we're going to the Toontown and
Mickey's birthday land at the time.
Yeah. Seeing this is Mickey's house, this is Minnie's house. Like I had that vivid memory as a kid.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't know the Cinderella animatronics and stuff like that because honestly, like as long as I got my Haunted Mansion and Pirates in, I was a happy kid, which that's still my happy adult Magic Kingdom. You give me Haunted Mansion at least, but Haunted Mansions and Pirates, I'm good. Maybe a Dole Whip, orange swirl, something, and I'm good. That's all I need for Magic Kingdom, because there's no booze.
There is now if you get yourself a dining reservation.
That's true. So
which, by the way, that was going to ruin Magic Kingdom, if you remember, right?
Oh no, that just made Magic Kingdom better.
And it did nothing to Magic Kingdom.
It didn't.
No.
It means I can have a Sam Adams at Liberty Tree Inn, and that's kind of cool.
I mean, I think everybody just thinks like, oh, all these people get drunk at Epcot and they ruined Epcot. No, That's not what happens, you know. So I don't know. I forgot what I was supposed to be googling.
What else did we blog about this week?
We kept
Coronado. When we were done with that, we talked about Coronado. After we were done with that, we talked about a little bit of Coronado.
And then the free dining came out, and then
and then Coronado.
yeah, and then Coronado again. It's cool. The Grandistina was really neat. It is now a. It is. Ed hit it on the head last week because is this your favorite resort? And I think it's a really good resort, but there's no Yeehaw Bob there. There's no entertainment like that. So I would still probably prefer Riverside because of Bob. But if you're in a convention, it's a wonderful place to be. You're in a tower that reminds me there's no Disney in your face. In fact, they've taken a lot of the characters out of Coronado Springs,
But
turned
I
it
do
into
love
a convention
that mural.
hotel.
I do
Yes.
love that mural.
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff in it. It's worth going over. And remember, you can get up to that Telado's up on the top or the lounge up on the top with no reservation. And you don't have to be staying there. So that's kind of cool.
I mean, I told you the first report that you did. I emailed it to my mom because there's this person new hotel. She does the conventions a lot. I of course tag along with her every single time. And as soon as she finished reading doing the photo report, she went right to DisneyInstitute.com because that's
yeah.
Does, and looked for conventions that were now going to be at Coronado. There's only one, and it's November of next year.
Okay, so they're coming.
So it's coming. And of course, she's like, "I've already done that one." So.
There'll be more. I got to imagine that they were expecting probably a high reservation rate. You would imagine.
I would think so.
Because it's new, and then they're gonna let it really filter into the convention set, if you will.
But just so you guys, if anybody is in if you're a business type position that your company might pay for a convention, check out DisneyInstitute.com and you might get to do a convention at Disney World.
There you go. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
And if your kids tag along, like me as the grown kid tags along with my mother every trip,
it's okay.
It's okay.
I can pull that off.
I don't let my kids tag along on a trip I've paid for. Wait, I don't let them tag along on one I haven't.
Yeah, but see, like I guess I'm more self-sufficient. Like I don't complain when she has to get up to a 7 a.m. conference and wakes me up. Or your kids might be a little upset with that, They might say the sun's not up yet. Why are you awake?
Right. Be a little different.
Be
a little different for certain.
Yeah.
Oh. So we've been running just about an hour.
Yeah. We talked about a lot of stuff.
We did talk about a lot of stuff. I want to touch base on one quick thing before we hang up our hats. We talked about the blog. We got a lot going on there. Obviously, we're here every Tuesday night. But we are currently working on show number 300.
That's a lot.
For the Disney. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Lot. I was piecing some things together last night, and I think Morgan and I are the two most recent to join, and this is quite the piece of work that you guys have put together. And 300 episodes is pretty awesome and very.
That is. Ed and Jimmy, they're not here tonight, but they get credit for all that.
On the chat.
With an ice packet on his mouth. And
yes, he's had a rough day.
Without Ed and Jimmy, we would not be here. And of course, Sam joined in, then Lisa joined in, and then they still let me join in.
There you go.
So I was putting a lot of things together, and I'll tell you, just over the course of 300 shows, just a lot of fun. And if you want some entertainment, much to Ed and Jimmy's chagrin, go back and listen to episode 1 if you can. Really, I listened to it the other night, and it was something. I was like, wow.
I haven't listened to that for a while. That's something I did every once in a while. Went back. And I shook my head and go, why did I join these guys? My goodness.
Right. I mean, look at
But you know what? That's why you do it. You got to start somewhere. You got to put a foot in the water and say, let's go.
And what I think is fantastic is I listen to a podcast right now that literally I just started listening to it recently, and I started at the first episode. And at the very beginning of the first episode, it says, "This is really going to stink." There was something over the beginning that said our first podcasts were horrible. If you really want to get into this, jump up to episode like
start in the teens,
right.
someplace. But it's
much better at this.
Would you get better at it, just like you are with this live show all the time, Lisa? Every week you learn something. There's a little technical snafu, and you know how to get over it next time, and you learn how to edit things a little better, and that's absolutely true.
I'm sure if we pulled up the first live show that you and Jimmy did, you'll be like, why did we do that?
So that brings me to the next topic. Something that Sam had figured out was that we can now create playlists on Facebook. So if you go to our Disney Nerds Podcast Facebook page, we have playlists. So we put together a playlist for Hollywood Studios 30th. We put together a playlist for the
Coronado and the live show.
And the live show and Toy Story's press junket.
Yep.
So when I was putting together, wrapping up what you had started with the live show, I did find we talk about that infamous Splitsville episode. If you can, it's in there. You go all the way back, but it's really funny to go back.
I still think that's the number one favorite show of the followers.
Everybody's favorite show. But
Bill just asked, is the Splitsville episode on the playlist?
Yes, it is. It's there. Go right on. Go find it. It's probably one of the best that we have done. But everything else aside, I happened to be on the phone with Jimmy while I was clicking through everything. And when you go back 2 years, I think I've aged Jimmy about 40 years doing this show. He looked like a baby 2 years ago, and I look exactly the same. I can't figure out whether or not Adrian just punched him in the face, or if I've really just killed him doing this show.
Is it like when you become the president, like you look all youthful, and then 4 years of being the president, you get gray hair, and you just start. Like, are you saying that this is what happened to Jimmy?
Okay, look, somebody needs to go back to some of the first shows and look at and compare him to now.
That's good.
He looks like 80 years older than he looks right now.
That's good.
Are you sure maybe it's just not his kids that might have done that to him, or you think it's you?
He's going through. I imagine that's what I'm going to look like in about 4 years. He's going through that. He's going through those tough teenage years, the last couple of years with his kids. But yeah.
I mean, I said, let's blame it on the kids. Let's not blame it on you.
It's what it felt like. I looked down and I go, oh my Lord, you look young, which is not something that you say to somebody that's aging. I'm really not. I'm very uncouth. So
yeah,
it's exactly what I said to him though. Oh God, yeah, you look old.
Bill just said some people age like wine. Jimmy aged like milk.
All right, you guys are gonna get in trouble now. So.
Yeah, I am.
Let's pick it up, Jimmy. Jimmy's hurt right now. He's recuperating.
All right, so
because we love.
On behalf of Jimmy, the big thanks to Morgan and Sam for joining me tonight and allowing Jimmy to wrap up. I appreciate you guys joining me. Please make sure you check out our podcast. It is on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean. Anywhere, iHeartRadio, anywhere you can listen to a podcast, we are out there. So please just make sure that you check us out and rate us on iTunes or Google Play. Give us that good rating that'll pop us up in the things.
Well, rate us good. Don't just rate us. Rate us good. I'm just
good. Okay, fair enough. Rate us good. We are on Twitter at the Disney Nerds. We are on Instagram at the Disney Nerds Podcast. We are on Facebook, the Disney Nerds Podcast. We have a group, Disney Nerds, all caps. We are on YouTube, the Disney Nerds Podcast. Sam is on YouTube, Sam's Disney Diary.
Thank you.
Got her photography thing, Dreamfinder Photography, and we do have Dreamfinder Radio out there. We have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's right. We do.
Oh, cow.
Love it. I gotta go think about this.
Right?
Thanks, guys.
Say hey, thank you.
I will see you next time.
Have a great week. So long, everybody.
Have a magical night. Hakuna Matata.